Hello and welcome back to my channel. So one thing about me is I'm a bit of a hygiene freak. I always want to be fresh. Turns out I've been doing a whole lot wrong over the years, and there's really not a right or a wrong, but there's just better ways to optimize our personal hygiene. So let's get into it. And if you are new here, don't forget to subscribe. Let's talk about shower routine, shower hygiene. So one mistake you may be making, I know there are people out there who are still using loofahs, and oh my goodness, if you only knew, I will try and get a visual here of how much bacteria is living in your loofah. You don't even want to think about it. And there are also people who are just using their hand, and the best happy medium is using a silicone shower brush. They are very affordable, and the silicone does not harbor as much bacteria, and they get the sudsing, the lathering action, and I feel much cleaner, fresher using that versus just using my hand. Using my hand alone is not cutting it. Next mistake is using Glide floss or another really waxy, slippery floss. I mean, they work better than not flossing, but those really waxy flosses are not as effective as getting the debris between your teeth. And they found the forever chemicals in the wax of Glide floss and a lot of other similar flosses that you're putting right there in your mouth, is getting into your bloodstream. So better alternatives is using a water flosser. I personally couldn't get on board with that. It was just a little too cumbersome, a little too messy. Or what I do is I use Cocoa Floss. And so this is a floss that has a texture to it. It's not as slippery. So it does a better job of getting the plaque that's stuck between your teeth. It is also free of BPA, parabens, SLS, PFAs, all of those bad chemicals that you don't want to be putting right there into your mouth. For body odor, if you are not using a cotton pad with witch hazel before applying your deodorant, you're doing it wrong. That is first going to kill the bacteria under your arms. That interaction of the sweat and bacteria is what's causing the odor. The jury is still officially out on whether aluminum deodorant has any link to cancer. But with that being said, I prefer to err on the side of safety if I could find something that actually works. And years ago, I did a video where I tested like over 20 different natural deodorants. I'm still to this day using the winner, which is the Little Seed Farm natural deodorant. This one's gonna sting a little. This one might even cause some controversy, but I'm here to say it, okay? And that is using body care products with endocrine disrupting chemicals. This is something to be aware of, especially if you are pregnant or trying to get pregnant. And there are chemicals in our personal care products that we are putting on our skin. Our skin is absorbing 60 to 70% of whatever you put on it. So I have switched to a toxin-free self-tanner. I use the Beauty by Earth, but over maybe a year or so, I have found great alternatives for every single body care product, and they're just not containing those cancer-causing chemicals, endocrine disruptors that can affect your hormones, your fertility, and that also applies to feminine care products. I've talked about this extensively, but you do want to use organic tampons, especially. Also, this needs to be said again, if you are using seamless underwear, I would recommend switching back to 100% cotton. Seamless underwear is not as breathable, and it can lead to trapped bacteria, yeast infections. 100% cotton is the way to go. For like personal fragrance, I do find sometimes that the natural clean fragrances don't last as long. My tip that works so well to get your fragrance to last longer: put an unscented, clean body lotion first. Don't rub it in, just spray, let it set, let it dry. Then once it dries, put another layer of your body lotion, and it locks in the fragrance, and it lasts for me like 2 to 3 times longer. This is my favorite signature fragrance, Vanilla Skin by Fleur. It is a clean fragrance. It is the best smelling vanilla fragrance I have ever experienced in my life. Okay, this one may sound weird, but you don't want to over trim your nose hair. Nose hair actually has a purpose. It's like a natural little hairy filter to help filter out contaminants, viruses. So you can do a light trim for anything that's sticking out, but do not go overboard on the nose hair trimming. Another big mistake people make is ignoring their feet. I saw a statistic that up to 40% of people have some kind of a foot or a toe fungus. And a lot of that happens at the gyms, public places. So don't neglect your foot hygiene anywhere in public. There is this antifungal foot lotion if you are prone to getting toe or foot fungus. You all know how I love my glass foot file. I like to keep nice feet, even though very few people ever see, feel, look at my feet. Huge hygiene mistake is not cleaning your phone and other electronic devices, things that are touching your hands, your face, that is contributing to acne and breakouts. I have this little gadget that I keep with me in my purse bag that's like a spray, and the actual container is the wipe. And I also use it on my computer, in my car, like all the screens. I just use this every day. Don't forget to clean your screen. Another big hygiene mistake that can lead to acne is not cleaning your makeup brushes frequently enough. And I know we are all guilty of this. You're doing your makeup one day and you're like, wow, when was the last time I cleaned my brushes? If you have that thought, it's time to clean your makeup brushes. It's an age-old question. When is the best time to brush your teeth? Is it before eating breakfast or after? You always want to brush your teeth before having breakfast. Right after you eat, your enamel is temporarily softened, and then brushing right after can damage your tooth enamel. So it is optimal to brush your teeth before eating breakfast, or at least 30 minutes after eating. That one you may know, but something that I did not know my entire life. You brush your teeth with toothpaste, you're done, you spit out the toothpaste. At that point, are you supposed to rinse your mouth out with water? Yes or no? Spit out the toothpaste and keep it moving, because there is the fluoride left over from the toothpaste that you want to stay there, and by rinsing it, it will dilute that fluoride that is protecting your teeth. So brush, spit, but don't rinse. For my entire life, pretty much, I would always brush, then floss. There was a study done, and it is more effective to first floss and then brush your teeth. Not only is this method more effective at removing interdental plaque, it also helps fluoride retention on your teeth. My next question I have for you: what type of toothbrush are you using? Is it a manual toothbrush or electric? Which one is better? I think that most of us probably assume electric toothbrushes are better. I wanted to do the research here, and they actually did an 11-year study. The results were that using an electric toothbrush resulted in 22% less gum recession and 18% less tooth decay. And to be honest with you, I thought the results would have been more extreme, but it still does show very clearly that people who use an electric toothbrush have healthier teeth, healthier gums, less tooth decay. So if you are one of the holdouts who is still using a manual toothbrush, it is worthwhile to switch to an electric, and you can get them very affordable nowadays. Mouthwash, is it good or bad? Well, turns out, by and large, mouthwash is bad. You want to avoid it. And that is specifically alcohol-based mouthwashes. Alcohol-based mouthwashes can dry out your mouth, leading to more tooth decay, disrupting the oral microbiome in your mouth, so the good bacteria, and a lot of them have bad chemicals in there. Alcohol-free mouthwashes are fine, are good, and I like to use this one, the Toothbrush. It has zinc in it, and it helps reduce bad breath like pretty dramatically. I've talked about this one for years, so not all mouthwashes are bad, but you do want to avoid the ones that really burn, the Listerine, the Scope. The next hygiene mistake you may be making, and you know I have to mention this one, and that is skipping a tongue scraper in the morning and night, twice a day. Use your tongue scraper. Most of the harmful bacteria in your mouth and the bacteria leading to bad breath is living on your tongue. Your tongue harbors bacteria, dead cells, toxins that accumulate over time, and the regular use of a tongue scraper helps eliminate those. It can get in there and really pull those toxins out of your tongue. And here's the craziest thing of all: by using a tongue scraper can actually help improve your sense of taste, because there's a residue on your taste buds. If you remove that, you can taste your food better. And this hygiene mistake is very personal, and it affects me and my family, and that is not going annually to get a full checkup, specifically getting your moles checked. So my brother went in recently. I had to keep reminding him. He went in, and it turns out he does have melanoma. So I don't mean to scare you, but it does happen even if you're young, even if you think you've done a good job of wearing sunscreen. Please, please, please go get checked. This is my PSA. I'm going to get checked again because I don't feel like my doctor did a thorough enough job. And now I'm very paranoid because it's in my family. Those are some hygiene mistakes you may or may not be making, and maybe it's not a mistake, but there's just a more optimal way of doing it. So if you did find this interesting, give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe with notifications turned on, and I will see you soon with a new video.